How's it going, guys? You already know what it is. I am the real I am. With my cousin, Uncle Lonnie.
What's up, y'all?
You know, I love having him here because not only he has the knowledge, but basically he can back up my experience. Like I said, everything that I've learned and everything that I've researched is all through my perception and my experience. And I just so happen to connect to myself through meditating. So we came here to break down these TV shows that are decoding everything that we thought was true, and it's just a lie. It's just not what it is. It's just not the real reality that we thought the reality that we're living in. And the secret has been hidden from us. These shows are breaking down exactly what's been going on, what we've been missing out on, and really how to connect to who we really are. And we just here to break it down, give our own personal reviews and perception. Y'all take what y'all want with that. So the next episode we're talking about today is David Icke, and this is the Revolution in Perception, episode 2 from Escape of the Matrix. Uncle Lonnie, can you please kick it off with us, man? Because we about to get real deep and heavy on these people.
Okay. I mean, I guess the biggest thing we can take away from this analysis and this breakdown is the understanding that we are living in a simulation, in a holographic universe. And this episode, it breaks it down more. Also, it breaks down how the way we perceive things can be used against us. How we perceive things can be used against us. So our brains are so powerful, and if we're not aware of how powerful our brains is, we can trick ourselves into thinking that we are very inferior to what we actually are. One of the things that I took from this episode was when he talked about frequency resistance and electromagnetism, and he was basically breaking it down. You know, people might ask, well, hey, how are you guys touching objects? Why can't you go through this wall here? Or, you know, how are we sitting down in this chair? Well, from my perception and from my own, you know, original breakdown of it, it's just like when we're born with this thing called a brain. This brain operates on this 3-dimensional frequency. That's what this brain is for. It's kind of like the engine for the body, which is the vehicle that we use to navigate this 3-dimensional realm. And you know, so because we perceive things as physical here, and let me not lose my train of thought, because we perceive things as physical here, and because our brains are on the 3D frequency, that electromagnetism or that electromagnetic resistance, we are subject to that frequency here because it's in that 3D realm. So that's what gives us the illusion of being able to touch things and interact with the things around us, because everything right now is material or 3-dimensional, and we have to operate in this dimension. I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk about the atom theory, okay, or the quote that he said.
Primarily, man, is with just touching on with the brain. The brain is just the transmitter. The brain, the mind is outside of the brain, but the brain is the engine. It's the engine of the vehicle. But we are made of atoms, right? I mean, we all had 9th grade biology. We all know this. But we don't know the secret of basically the quantum field. And that's when you talk about the invisible, of what people think we're just humans and don't even realize the energy that we are and the connection that we have to the quantum realm. And when we say quantum, it's just what you can't see, what the eyes can't see. But you don't even know that there's an entire network that we are connected to. Of course, we're gonna get deeper into this. But like I said, we are made up of atoms. And Google,
how many atoms was it?
7 octillion atoms.
7 octillion atoms. And now, when we break down this atom theory, you'll understand why this shit is non-physical.
So this is in minute 629 of the video, and he gives this quote. If the nucleus were the size of a peanut, the atom would be about the size of a baseball stadium. If we lost all the dead space inside our atoms, we would be able to fit into a particle of dust, and the entire human race would fit into the volume of a sugar cube. This world is not solid. And when we say quantum physics, it's energy, frequency, vibration. There's a Hertz scale of your emotions and what energy and frequency that emits out. So we just gonna keep it going, but that's what we are.
So basically, look at it like this, right? I've even try to simplify it a little bit more. If your nucleus was the size of this notebook, so I would say if the nucleus was the size of this notebook, the atom itself would have to be at least the size of a city. I would just go ahead and throw that estimation out there. So between this nucleus and the parameter of the city, all that is dead space. That's when you have to realize, I guess that's when we have to realize, and when we're trying to help people realize, you're not really the body, and the body is just a vessel in which you operate.
You are energy.
Yeah.
You are frequency. Yeah. You are a vibration. You are a drop of water in a big ass ocean.
So that is just the thing. If you was to, like you said, to take all that space, it would condense us to a very, very microscopic size. So
Exactly. So one thing he said in 1180, once you realize how reality works, you realize we are the ones in control, not random events.
Okay.
So not these things that happen to you, not because your mom raised you a certain way, not because your dad was a certain way or he treated you a certain way, not because your dad wasn't there. It's up to you. You define and create your reality. It's your perception of what matters. And that's why we say we are open here. We are open to all religions. We're open to all beliefs in, and we're just gaining an understanding and wanting to educate you on who you are, which is an infinite, limitless being. We're just going to keep diving into this episode though. Another thing he says, we are not at the mercy of life. We create it. We are not at the mercy of this life.
We are the creators.
We are the creators.
Because like you said, we are infinite. We are not the body. We are infinite awareness.
Yes.
We are much bigger than the body.
100%.
Matter of fact, I would go on to say real quick, make the point. He says, at one point in the episode, the brain receives 11 million bits of information every second. Now this goes ahead and I think it adds more evidence to the fact that, this is not a physical or this is more of an illusion. Yeah. Because out of that 11 million bits of information, the human brain can only decode 40 bits of it. And that 40 bits that the brain decodes is the virtual illusion that's all around you. Mm-hmm. So to think about the millions and millions of bits that's not being decoded, that's the actual reality. Mm-hmm. We're living in the illusion. Like I said, the 3D brain decodes.
Yeah.
And maybe because those other bits of information are on a higher frequency for the human brain to decode. Right. Probably why we can't see those things in this 3D. But yeah.
But just because you can't see them doesn't mean it's not there.
Right.
Just because what you gotta understand, man, is crazy. Just how you would think about your brother, like, man, I hope he all right, man. I hope that dude's straight. And then he call you. Situation, circumstance, and events give you what you put into your mind. That's what we talk about, the invisible. Mm-hmm. And let's keep it going, because touching on what you were saying, he says we live on minute 1139, we live in a cosmic Wi-Fi, also known as the quantum physics. And this field is infinite possibility. Mm-hmm. Through your mind, you choose what reality projects through your eyes. Mm-hmm. Did you hear me? Through your mind, mm-hmm. you choose what reality projects through your eyes.
Which that will already answer my question I had lined up. Why is perception everything? You already answered the question.
And it's funny because I love, man, we stand on task. So because what he says is little old me. If you believe that I'm just little old me and life is hard on me and I got it hard and my life is made to struggle, then that's the life you manifest, the little old me life. But if you dream big, if you say like that's why I started into real estate, because I said, look, if this information is real, if this information is true and it works, I'm not gonna manifest a car. I'm not going to manifest owning a house. I'm going to manifest owning a business. I'm going to manifest creating a legacy for my children and something that they can have when I'm long gone. So I chose to dream big. And that's what your perception, and you have to choose. That I'm not the person that they allow me to believe, or the news tell me that I am, or whatever limitless thing they put on you.
Or even go bigger than that, I would say start programming yourself to realize that you're not human and that this is just a vessel. One thing that dude was saying on the show was that one thing dude was saying on the show is that we are infinite possibilities, just traveling through the infinite.
You are consciousness.
We are infinite consciousness traveling through the infinite. Once you operate once you get on that frequency and operate from there, that's when he was talking about the expansion of the mind.
Yep.
So think about if your mind has sort of a halo around it, right? And if this small halo just comes from, I'm little old me, I'm just human. Mm-hmm. I can only do this, or I'm only capable of doing this, or I'm just limited to this. Once you get out of that type of thinking and go, okay, well, I'm not the body, I am the consciousness that operates the body. And once you really tap in and get into the knowing of this bandwidth, or this expansion, or this frequency, it expands. And now that's when he's saying when it expands, now you're creating more space and opportunity. You're creating more space for opportunity.
There you go.
You're creating more possibilities that can come your way.
Yep.
Because you're creating a wider feedback, or creating a wider space for feedback to bring in those positive, or bring in those desired thoughts that you want to manifest.
Exactly. One thing he says is, I am infinite, and this is just a step in the road. Mm-hmm. This is just a part of your process of leveling up your consciousness. Once you step into consciousness, you find the infinite possibilities that you are. You step into the unknown. You don't worry about the how. You don't worry about how things are going to work out. Things just work out. And one thing, now talking about things just working out, which brings me into the next section, 17:17. Time is an illusion humans created. One thing, when you're on your journey, don't get caught up on the time. Don't get caught up on, I was supposed to blow up this minute, or these sales are supposed to happen this quick, or I was supposed to get this many deals this quick. This is what I'm manifesting. Don't put a time limit on things, because time is an illusion. The now is what matters, not the minutes, but the seconds. Everything else is an illusion. Most people are stuck in the past for what has already happened. When you fill yourself with regret about the past where you are in the now. When you are worried about the future, or your ambitions for the future, you're still in the now. So don't forget, man, be present. Be present is what matters. As long as you create and you're present right now, you create the future. And the past has already happened. You can't do nothing about that. So that's why time is an illusion.
Look at it like this, because you're right. All you have is the now. So when you're worried about the so-called past, it's like they're trying to basically tell you the past don't exist. Right. So all you have is memories. That's your past. Or memories, those are your illusions of your past. And when you're worried about the future, you're more worried about predictions, premonitions.
Yeah.
So that's still not in the future. While you're worried about those predictions, you're doing that in the present.
And can I just talk about the past for a second? Mm-hmm. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Shit happens so quick, or trauma happens so quick. Most times trauma, it'd be like an out-of-body experience, or it happens, you just like, they don't even really remember the full story. So most times it's almost like 85% chance that the story that you remember is not even 100% accurate of how things happen. So don't even dwell on the past. It happened. It spilled milk. Clean it up. Move forward.
One thing, unless you had something else
no,
to
you
say.
good. Keep going.
I was going to say, depending how far you are, I was going to say one thing that really stood out to me in this episode. He said, all we are is information decoding information.
Yeah.
And I would want to say, once you look at the world from that perspective, it kills a lot of illnesses that goes on in this world. When I mean illnesses, I don't mean like sicknesses. I mean, like things like bigotry and things like, as corny as it sounds, things like racism, things like classism. Once you learn that all we are here to do is learn the self, because that's what this infinite consciousness is doing. We're just bits of it trying to learn every possibility of self that there is to learn. Once I see this person as not as Derek Swain, but once I see him as information that I can learn from or decode, and he sees me the same way, then I can see beyond the flesh. I can see beyond the vessel. I can see him as the energy being that he is, the light being that he is. So with that information, yes, it cures a lot of human dispositions that plagues humanity, you know.
Once you realize that, basically, man, for me, through my awakening, it was, I just realized, man, that it was me that placed the limitations on myself, you know, and so I had to completely break away from that. And yeah, so I really think we have to collectively work together, which is why we have this channel, work together to understand the one truth that we all are. In this video, I think he hits it on the head. I know we're getting really long in this video, so I want to just kind of get towards the end. But one thing he says that, mind you, this is a knowledge, right? A knowledge of self and understanding who you are. There's no religious connection to this. There's no book you can read. There's no YouTube video that you can find to fully grasp what we're talking about. You have to experience it yourself. You have to ask yourself, am I aware? Am I who I really think I am? And what am I? You have to ask yourself these questions with this knowledge, right? So let's just say there's a powerful knowledge, and it says, what power would it give anyone who knew this is how we create reality, but created a society to keep this knowledge from us? What if they took this knowledge that they could manipulate your brain to decode reality in a certain way? They could ensure by the manipulation that you created, you believed in a reality that suited them. So basically saying there's a power that they hid from you to create, and they created a reality that's only suited them. And you believed in that. You trust in that.
So things like policies, politics,
religion,
even religion, things like, man, they just, oh my God.
So even it's all this shit. So even if it doesn't suit you, it's here. And we are in a human society that has been systematically structured to keep the truth about reality from us. So we live in a world of limitations of I can't and I'm afraid and what's going on and confusion. But once you understand that you are the creator of your reality, they know we don't need them. And that's what they keep causing this shit. They create chaos to make us think we need them to save us. When if they just get out the fucking way, we can all live as a society and grow together. Just before we go, one thing he says, and you know, just to end off on this video, is understanding reality is the key to everything. Understanding that you are the creator of your reality is the key to everything. And he says, whatever you want to call it, utopia, paradise, unity, whatever divine word you want to use for what you're looking for, you're just a perception away. Have a great day.